It started as a joke. Everyone in the neighborhood laughed when they heard that Moyo, a pregnant woman of 8 months, had developed a strange craving for grass. Yes, real green grass. At first, her husband Ton thought it was one of those pregnancy cravings women get, like eating charcoal or licking sand, but this was different. Moyo didn't just crave grass, she devoured it like a starving goat. Every morning, she would sit in the backyard with a large bowl of freshly cut grass, her colorful wrapper barely covering her huge belly, and eat it with a strange hunger that frightened even the birds. Ton tried to stop her countless times. Moyo, you're embarrassing me, he shouted one afternoon as he found her chewing a handful of grass while humming softly to herself. People are talking. What will the neighbors say? But she only looked up at him with wide eyes and said, I can't help it, Ton. The baby won't let me rest until I eat. Her voice shook, and there was fear in her tone, not madness, not foolishness, fear. That night, Ton couldn't sleep. He sat by the edge of their bed watching his wife toss and turn, her hands clutching her belly as if something inside was moving violently. It's hungry again, she whispered in the dark. It wants me to feed it. He tried to calm her, saying it was just a dream, but when he reached to touch her stomach, something strange happened, something moved beneath her skin, not like a normal baby's kick but a long, slithering motion, like the crawl of a snake. Ton jumped back, his heart pounding. Moyo, what was that? She turned to him slowly, tears streaming down her face. I told you, she whispered, something inside me is not normal. The next morning, things got worse. Moyo woke up early, went outside, and started eating grass again, but this time, not the soft kind. She pulled out wild, bitter weeds from the corners of the fence, the ones even goats avoided. Ton ran after her, panicking. Moyo, stop. Please. He grabbed her hands, but she fought him with strength he'd never seen in her before. Her eyes looked strange, glassy, distant, almost glowing. Later that day, when he finally managed to get her to the hospital, the doctor ran tests but found nothing unusual. Her vitals are normal, he said, just a psychological craving. It's harmless. But as they left the hospital, an old janitor cleaning the corridor pulled Ton aside and whispered, take her to a church, my son. This is not medicine. It's spiritual. That night, Ton found his wife sitting on the veranda again, her eyes fixed on the moon, a bowl of fresh green grass in her hands. It's calling me again, she said softly. It says it's not ready to come out yet. It still needs to eat. Ton stared at her in disbelief, his mind spinning. What's calling you? He asked, his voice trembling. She turned to him slowly, her pupils dilated, and whispered, our child. He wanted to laugh, to believe it was madness, but deep down, something told him she wasn't lying. Because when she smiled, he saw it clearly, the faint outline of something long and cold pressing against her stomach from the inside. And that was the night he realized, his wife wasn't just carrying a baby. She was carrying something else. Ton didn't know what was worse, the rumors flying around the neighborhood or his wife's sudden obsession with grass. By now, everyone knew. Aunties, neighbors, even the Okada riders by the junction whispered, that's the man whose wife eats grass. It had gotten so bad that people came to peep through their fence like it was a reality show. One day, Ton even caught two women hiding behind the wall recording Moyo on their phones while she chewed happily under the morning sun. He nearly lost his mind. My wife is not a cow, he shouted, chasing them away with a mop. Go and film your own problems. But as he turned back, there was Moyo again, sitting gracefully on her chair, smiling like a queen, and saying, honey, can you get me some grass with dew? It tastes sweeter in the morning. That was the breaking point. Ton called his mother in the village. Mama, please, your daughter-in-law has gone mad, he cried. But Mama, being a typical village mother, only asked, which kind of grass is she eating? Maybe it's Igbo. Mama. It's grass. Ordinary green grass. She chews it like rice. Mama sighed. Then maybe she is carrying a special child. You know, when I was pregnant with you, I used to eat chalk and soap. Mama, that was soap, not shrub. But the funniest part came the next morning. Ton tried to trick her. He replaced a bowl of grass with lettuce from the market, thinking she wouldn't notice. Moyo took one bite, spat it out dramatically, and said, "This grass is fake. Did you buy this from Lagos?" Ton blinked. How can grass be fake? She glared at him like a queen scolding a servant. My baby doesn't like market grass. He wants grass that grows from prayer and sunlight. Ton nearly fainted. Still, something about her changed. She began talking to her belly more, whispering softly at night. Sometimes, Ton would wake up to hear her laughing alone in the dark, saying, "Stop tickling me." He would sit up, terrified. "Moyo, who are you talking to?" She'd smile sleepily. "Our baby. He's funny." Funny. Ton muttered, "Madness runs in the family." But one night, something happened that turned his laughter into fear. Moyo was asleep, snoring softly, when Ton heard a rustling sound. At first, he thought it was the wind. Then he saw it, long, thin marks moving under her skin, like something crawling from one side of her belly to the other. Her body jerked, and suddenly, she started laughing in her sleep, not her normal laughter, but a deep, echoing one that made his blood run cold. "It's growing," she murmured. "It's hungry." Terrified, Ton ran to his pastor the next morning. The pastor listened carefully, then said, "Bring her to church. But first, stop feeding the grass. The spirit feeds through it." Ton nodded, relieved. That night, he decided to throw away all the grass. But when he got home, he found Moyo guarding it like treasure. "Don't touch my food," she shouted. "If you throw it away, he will be angry." "Who will be angry?" Ton yelled. She paused, eyes wide and distant. "Your father." Ton froze. "My, what?" His father had died 10 years ago. "Moyo, stop joking." But she only smiled eerily and said, "He visits me sometimes. He says you don't listen to him anymore." That night, Ton didn't sleep. He sat in the corner, watching her rock back and forth, humming an old song his late father used to sing. When she saw him staring, she smiled gently and said, "Don't worry, Ton. After the baby comes, everything will make sense." He wanted to believe her. He wanted to think this was just pregnancy madness. But deep down, something told him that the woman sitting before him wasn't entirely his wife anymore. And what happened the next morning confirmed it, because when he woke up, the bowl of grass was gone. Instead, there were footprints on the lawn outside, small, muddy, and shaped like snake scales. That night, the wind howled strangely around the house, rattling the windows like something wanted in. Ton lay awake, pretending to sleep, his heart pounding so hard he could hear it echo in his ears. For 3 nights straight, he had been hearing things, footsteps, whispers, and once, the sound of the backyard gate creaking open at exactly 2 a.m. Every time he tried to follow, Moyo would suddenly appear beside him, smiling like she hadn't moved at all. But tonight felt different. There was a chill in the air, the kind that carried warnings. He waited until she turned in bed, then heard her mumble something under her breath. Slowly, silently, she sat up, her hair falling over her face, and began to walk toward the door. Ton followed carefully, his bare feet silent on the floor. The air felt heavier as he stepped into the corridor. She opened the back door and stepped into the moonlight. And that's when he saw it, his wife, in her wrapper, kneeling in the middle of the garden, whispering into the bowl of grass like it was alive. The moonlight reflected on something shiny near her, a small clay pot decorated with cowrie shells and red cloth. Then she did something that made him almost scream. She pulled a strand of her hair, dropped it into the pot, and began humming a song in a language he didn't recognize. "Moyo," he called out before he could stop himself. She froze. Then, slowly, she turned her head, not her body, just her head, in a way no human neck should turn. Her eyes glowed faintly green. "You shouldn't be here, Ton," she whispered, her voice layered, like 2 people were speaking through her. "He doesn't like to be watched when he feeds." Ton stumbled backward, terrified. "Who is he?" he stammered. She smiled, then pointed at her swollen belly. Our baby, she said softly. He's not like other children. He's been feeding on grass because he's half from here, she touched her chest, and half from the earth below. Ton didn't understand what she meant, but before he could say another word, the clay pot began to move on its own. It rolled slowly toward him, then stopped and cracked open with a sharp pop. A small puff of green smoke rose into the air, carrying a foul smell. Ton's legs gave way as he fell backward. Moyo, however, smiled dreamily. He's happy, she whispered. He's full now. The next morning, Ton rushed to Pastor Femi's house with tears in his eyes. The old man listened quietly, then went to his shelf and took out a small Bible and a bottle of anointing oil. Bring her tonight, he said. Whatever is growing in her womb is not a child from God. But convincing Moyo to go wasn't easy. She was calm at first, even playful, saying, "Why do we need prayers, Ton? I'm just pregnant." But that night, as he was dressing up, she stood in the doorway, her expression cold and distant. "You want to take me to the pastor?" she asked. "To chase away my baby?" "No," Ton said softly. "To pray for our family." She smiled faintly. "Our family doesn't need prayer. It needs loyalty." Then she stepped closer, placed a hand on his cheek, and whispered, "If you ever try to harm him, I will make you eat the same grass you hate so much." Ton froze. Her touch felt ice cold, her breath warm and sharp like smoke. By midnight, she was gone. He searched everywhere, the backyard, the road, even the neighbor's compound. Then he saw her, far away near the stream, standing under a tree, surrounded by faint lights like fireflies. Except they weren't fireflies, they were eyes. Dozens of glowing eyes circling her as she held her belly and chanted. Ton's blood ran cold. He hid behind a tree, his heart hammering. "He's coming," she said to the shadows. "The chosen one who will bring back the Earth Mother." Suddenly, the ground shook slightly, and the stream bubbled as if something underneath was waking up. Ton couldn't take it anymore. He screamed, "Moyo! Stop this madness!" She turned around sharply, her eyes blazing. "You shouldn't have come here," she shouted, and just then, something moved in the water, a massive dark shape, slithering, rising, coiling behind her. He ran. He didn't look back until he reached home, panting, shaking, covered in sweat. He locked the doors and waited till dawn. When she finally returned, she was calm again, barefoot, her wrapper soaked, her face pale. She smiled weakly and said, "Don't worry, Ton. Soon, everything will make sense. Our baby will explain it all." And for the first time, Ton looked at her belly, really looked, and realized it was moving, but not like a baby kicking. It moved sideways, like something crawling under her skin. He fainted.